Hi, everybody. I'm Lori, and this is GLP-1 Journey in Review. Today, I'm going to talk to you about what you should have when you're either starting your GLP-1 journey or titrating up. Just some essentials. Don't have to have them. Somebody like me, I really haven't had any side effects, but I think you should be prepared just in case because these side effects, they are very manageable. And I'm going to tell you how you can manage them and little things that have helped me. So we all know that the side effects, most common ones are nausea, vomiting, constipation, and diarrhea. It seems like these are with every single medication, but from other people's experience and what they've told me, these seem to happen somewhat, well, not regularly, but they do happen with the GLP-1 medications. Like I said, I'm going by what other people told me because in my year and a half journey, I have had constipation maybe twice, and it really wasn't anything severe. It was like I usually go in the morning, and it wasn't until late afternoon or evening that I went. It may not quite have been much as I expected to go, but it really wasn't constipation. And as far as diarrhea, I think I've had it once, and it wasn't one of these, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. It was like, I think I have to go to the bathroom, make my way there in about 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah, no big deal. And when I went, I'm like, hmm, diarrhea. Wasn't really expecting that. Maybe it was just more loose stools. And I think in a year and a half, I don't know if I could really blame that on the medication because is that normal? As far as nausea, I really haven't had any. Now, maybe, queasiness, but I've had that before I started the medication, and it's just one of these, am I a little queasy? Take a sip of water or electrolytes, and it seems to go away. So is that really queasiness? I don't know. But that's as far as my side effects. So, first thing I think you should have when you are starting this is, I don't know if you could see it, and it might be backwards. I apologize. Is any anti-diarrhea medication. Always good to have around because you never know if you're going to be the person that has the diarrhea. So when I first started, I take my shot on Saturday. At that time, I was only working 4 hours on a Saturday, so it wasn't really a big deal. And then I was off Sunday and Monday. So I was ready if I did have any side effects. I wasn't far away from a bathroom or I wasn't out doing something. I would not recommend you starting this medication if the next day or two you have a big wedding or a big event. And just in case, because you don't know how you're going to act to the medication. Now, I'm not saying you are going to have any of these side effects, but it's good to know how your body reacts. And just because you don't have any side effects now doesn't mean you'll never have any side effects. Because as you titrate up and you get to the higher doses, that seems to be when the side effects happen a little bit more often. Like I said, knock on wood, I really haven't had any, but that's just me. I'm one of the rare people. Please don't hate me because I don't have any side effects. It's nothing that I can help. So, what else should you have around? This Miralax, most people have around because we all know constipation is a fairly common side effect. Now, there's other things you could do for constipation. I wouldn't rush to the Miralax right away. Sometimes you could evaluate what you're eating. Are you getting enough fiber? Because fiber is very important. And they make magnesium supplements. I think I have some here. Yep. There's BioOptimizer. That's what I use. People swear by Mago 7. I never tried Mago 7, but I am assuming that they are fairly similar. And they say that helps along with helping your sleeping. I've noticed a slight difference on my ring and my watch, or I should say my Fitbit that measures my sleeping. I don't use my watch, which I forgot to put on today for my sleeping because I charge my watch at night because it's also a phone in case I forget my phone or as I'm walking around work or walking outside work, taking a walk. Sometimes I forget to bring my phone and my Samsung watch acts as a phone, so it's not like I don't have a phone. So it does say that I do get a little bit better sleep. Is it coincidence? I don't know because I also occasionally take a sleeping pill if I'm having trouble sleeping for a few days. And I think that's more due to my work schedule because I work 14-hour days or so, come home, eat, and basically have an hour before I go to bed and start it all over again, which isn't the best thing, but it's just something I can't control because work is work and have to make a living. I'm nowhere near the point of making a full-time living off of YouTube. And if I don't, that's okay because I really enjoy doing these and I do want to help you guys. Antacid, whether it's Tums, whether it's generic. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in generics and a lot of that kind of stuff because I think most of them are the same. That's just me. If you prefer name brand, get name brand. It is known that a little bit of stomach upset can happen with the medication, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing this video. And acid reflux plays a good part of it. Sometimes that nausea is part of what makes you feel nausea. And it is known that people have a little bit more and acid reflux as they take the medication. This could help. There's also over the counter like Nexium, the little purple pill, and all sorts of other brands. I'm not recommending one brand or the other. That's totally up to you and totally up to price. Whatever's on sale works. Anything to try. Now, I happen to have a prescription of that because I've had some acid reflux for probably the last 15 years of my life. So I take that anyhow, and that hasn't been a problem, which is why I don't have a little box to show you because I have the prescription one. And it's the same stuff, the prescription as the over the counter. The dose might be a little bit different. Sometimes you have to take two of the over counter to equal the prescription. It's kind of a experimental, try it and see what happens as far as dosage. And you may not need it. Another thing I don't have around here is something like Pepto-Bismol or something for that little upset stomach. Now, the Tums and Pepto-Bismol and stuff sometimes helps because some people report that they get these sulfur burps. I haven't had any, so I'm really not an expert on that. If you have and you have any ideas of how to get rid of it or anything that works for you, please put that down in the comments. Since I don't really know about it, I really can't speak too much other than about what I've heard. So, what else do we have? I think when you start your journey, obviously, the way that this works is it slows down your digestion, your stomach emptying, and we won't get into too much, but that's basically all it is for this. So, you will eat a little bit less. So, the fact that you should be eating nutrient dense food also is very important. So I recommend a multiple vitamin. This is the one I take. It's a whole food vitamin with no iron. Now some people like it with the iron because that is one thing that happens when you're on a weight loss journey is you lose iron. I've had blood tests. I take them every 4 months or so, and my iron is fine. Iron itself can cause constipation. So if I don't have to take the one with iron, I'm not. But if you're worried about losing iron, which a lot of people do, especially with rapid weight loss, then you may want to get the one with iron. But speak to your healthcare provider about it. I think it's important to take at least a multiple vitamin because obviously we're not eating as much and we want to stay healthy, which also brings me to the fact, if I backtrack a little bit, that I think everybody should get blood work during their journey, whether it's every 3 months, 6 months, a year. That's totally between you and your provider. My provider requires it every 6 months. I personally like to see my progress a little bit better, so I get them every 3 months. I've asked them, and that's just me. I'll be me, you be you. So I think you should have all of this around. Another thing you should have around, which I didn't bring in here. Oh, yes, I did bring it in here. These are the electrolytes that I use, Elements. I like them. There's plenty of other brands, and they are less expensive. If you are going to order it, Element, they sell them at Amazon. I think now Walmart just started carrying them in Target, and I think the Vitamin Shop carries it. I think they're the best price through Element most of the time, unless you get them on Amazon Prime Day or something along those lines. This is the sample pack. If you look on my page, I have a link for Element, and if you order through that link, you will get this for free, this little sample pack. I think it comes with 8 different flavors so that you could try them. I don't make any money from this. They just are kind enough to offer this, whether you order through me or through somebody else. Just think it's important that you have Elements or any type of electrolyte because I think you're going to need it. The idea is to stay healthy on this journey. And again, along with the appetite suppression, you just don't drink as much, especially at first. So please make sure that you're hydrating. I know it's hard. Also, try to keep up on your protein, especially when you first start or your shot day, or maybe the day after. It's a little bit hard to eat with that appetite suppression. So this is one item that I use. And again, they're not sponsored by me, or they're not my sponsor rather. And I just find this easier because I am not huge on protein water. And just, it's okay if I have to drink it, I will. But these Protein Gold, and I think Frogger or Frog makes one very similar in price. It's a little packet. You open it up, you squeeze it in there. It's 1 ounce, pretty easy to take, 70 calories, tastes pretty good. And it has it has 70 calories and it has 17 grams of protein. So it's just a little bit extra way to get protein. On the same subject, since we're obviously not able to eat as much, and protein is so important in many ways in keeping us fuller longer and with muscle loss and other things. That's a whole nother video. Keep it simple. I think you should have some protein shakes nearby because if you can't drink, have a couple, 2, even 3, depending on how much you're eating. Getting this nutrient dense food and protein is just so important in your journey. So let me know in the comments what you keep in your, I don't know if I should call it a kit or just have around the start of your journey and as you're titrating up, just the essentials. So have a good day.